You told them not to touch the cabinet 3 times. They touched it anyway. You moved them to the other side of the room. They crawled back. You added a lock, and somehow they spent 20 minutes trying to understand how that lock worked. And before we go any deeper into this, do me a quick favor. Pause this video for just 1 second, use your finger and press that subscribe button. Yeah, right now. And somewhere between the moment you said no for the 3rd time and the moment you found everything on the floor arranged in a way that almost looked intentional, you had a thought you probably didn't say out loud. Is something wrong with them? Or is something very, very right? Because what you are about to understand is one of those things that changes how you see your child permanently. Developmental psychologists have been studying this exact pattern for decades, and there is something they keep finding again and again. The behaviors that get labeled as difficult, the defiance, the constant pushing, the chaos, are very often not signs of a problem. They are signs of a brain that is working ahead of the environment it has been placed in. Here is something most parents never think about. Toddlers don't repeat behaviors randomly. When a behavior repeats, it means the brain is getting something from it. Learning, feedback, stimulation. So I want to ask you something honestly. Have you ever felt like your child keeps doing the same wrong thing over and over? Not out of frustration, but almost like they're trying to figure something out? Tell me in the comments how that looks in your home. I really want to read you, because those patterns are never meaningless. Let's start with the first sign. They break rules, but not randomly. Most toddlers break rules because they can't stop themselves. Impulse takes over, and the rule disappears. But there is another type of rule breaking that looks very different. The child breaks the rule, and when you ask why, they actually try to explain it. Not perfectly, not convincingly, but there is a reason. I moved it because it was in the wrong place. I did it again to see what would happen. That changes everything, because now we are not looking at impulse, we are looking at decision-making. Researchers call this intentional rule violation, which means the child understands the rule exists, evaluates it, and then chooses to act anyway. That is not just behavior. That is the earliest form of independent thinking. And if this is already making you rethink moments that used to frustrate you, press that subscribe button now. It's honestly easier than trying to get your toddler to stop doing something just because you said don't. And we both know how that usually goes. Now here comes the second sign. And this one is exhausting in a very specific way. They ask why over and over and over again. Not just what is that, but why does that happen? What happens if we do this? Here is the part most parents don't know. That phase is not curiosity in a general sense. It is the brain actively building models of reality. Every question is filling a gap. Every answer becomes a piece of structure. And when the answer doesn't make sense, the brain rejects it. That is why "because I said so" never works with these children. Not because they are disrespectful, because their brain literally cannot store that as a complete answer. It needs cause, connection, logic. Be honest with me. Have you ever reached a point where your child asked so many questions that you just ran out of answers and felt mentally exhausted? Tell me how that moment feels for you. I really want to read that. Because every parent who goes through this recognizes it instantly. Now let's talk about something that looks like pure destruction. The toy taken apart, the drawer emptied, the object dismantled piece by piece. From the outside, it looks like chaos. But from inside the child's brain, this is investigation. Here is something most first-time parents never hear. There is a difference between random destruction and systematic exploration, and you can see it in what happens after. If your child pauses, looks, studies what they just did, you are not looking at misbehavior. You are looking at experimentation. This is how early engineering thinking begins. All right, quick pause again. If this is connecting dots for you right now, go ahead and press the subscribe button. It takes less effort than putting a toy back together after your toddler inspected it. And honestly, we both know that toy is never the same again. Now here is where it gets emotional. Some toddlers react very strongly to things that seem small. Something feels unfair, and suddenly the reaction is huge. Tears, frustration, intensity. And adults often think, this is too much, but here is the hidden layer. Some children develop a sense of fairness earlier than expected. And when something feels wrong, they cannot ignore it, because their brain is already modeling other people's experiences. That intensity is not weakness, it is early moral processing. Real talk for a second. How are you handling those moments lately? The ones where your child reacts strongly and you're not sure how to respond? Share it in the comments. I really want to read you. And while you're there, press subscribe. Because understanding these moments makes them feel a lot less overwhelming. Now let's talk about the one that surprises almost every parent. They don't need more entertainment. They need more challenge. Here is something that changes everything. Some toddlers are not too much. They are understimulated. Their brain requires more complexity, more novelty, more engagement to feel balanced. And when they don't get it, they create it. No CTA here, just sit with that. The chaos, the pushing, the testing is not random. It is the brain solving its own lack of stimulation. If this is helping you see your child differently, leave a like so more parents can find this and tell me, do you feel like your child creates problems when they are bored? So now we come back to the question from the beginning. Is something wrong or is something very right? Because the truth is this, intelligence at this age does not look like calm behavior. It looks like friction. It looks like intensity. It looks like a child constantly trying to push beyond what exists around them. And before you leave, I want to ask you for one last thing. If this shifted even a small part of how you see your child, don't just move on. Take a second and press that subscribe button the same way you react when your child is about to do something risky. Fast, without overthinking it. And tell me, which one of these signs felt most familiar to you? Write it down below. I really want to read you. Because somewhere, another parent is going to read your experience and realize they are not dealing with a difficult child. They are raising a very different kind of mind.